How does a grateful nation repay those willing to give? As Abraham Lincoln wrote, the last full measure of devotion to their country. One can't. But as a people, a nation, a country, it is imperative to do everything in our power to honor and assist the brave men, women, and families of our armed forces. We must work tirelessly to support them during and after their time of service. And that is the mission of Birdies for the Brave. Originally founded in 2006 by Amy and Phil Mickelson, Birdies for the Brave unites 11 military home front groups under one umbrella, proudly supported by the PGA Tour.
The idea here from the beginning was to use the PGA Tour's assets, all of them, to appropriately and in a compelling way say thank you to our men and women in uniform. And not just to raise consciousness, but also to raise money, needed resources to help these home front charities that have such an impact on the lives of these men and women in uniform and their families.
All citizens, I feel, have the obligation to do something for this country, and making the lives of the men and women more enjoyable when they return, making their quality of life better, making sure they know they're loved and appreciated. That's the greatest thing that we can do as citizens.
Birdies for the Brave is a way that we can channel the energy that we can bring to raising resources to home front groups in their efforts to support the men and women in uniform that come back from combat and the families of men and women in uniform who are abroad.
Our servicemen and women are deservingly honored each year ahead of the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass, where the effects of these home front organizations are celebrated.
The service members, veterans, and retirees, both standing in front of us, even tuning in from afar, are deeply appreciative of how the PGA Tour and Birdies for the Brave supports America's armed forces.
I look back and see where Birdies for the Brave has come, and it's such a great sense of pride. All of us feel like we're in this together, and we're working together to help those that give us so much.
The PGA Tour is proud to support our armed forces and their families through Birdies for the Brave and necessary home front groups like United Through Reading.
And now to help us present the award, it's my pleasure to introduce another special guest who understands the morale boost United Through Reading provides to each branch of service. He is the most senior non-commissioned officer in the United States military, appointed by the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to serve as a spokesperson to address the issues of enlisted personnel to the Department of Defense. Please welcome the senior enlisted advisor to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Sergeant Major Brian Battaglia.
Thank you, everyone, and distinguished guests, senior leaders, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to join you this evening, as it provides a remarkable opportunity to recognize remarkable accomplishments. It's an honor to be surrounded by so many great Americans here tonight. People ask me often, what's made you want to serve for so long? Well, I'm looking at it. And so on behalf of the men and women, allow me to acknowledge and thank so many of you for your long-standing and loyal support to our armed forces. Organizations like United Through Reading, whom for more than 25 years have directly contributed to the morale, education, and welfare of our military families at duty stations worldwide. I can vividly recall over the years of my own deployments, and we're going a few years back, where a deployed parent would stand in a long line at the phone booth of a USO, call, collect, and then read a short story to the children when he finally made it to the front of the line. That led years later to the recording of a book reading on a cassette tape to the kids back home. And technology and ingenuity through organizations like United Through Reading has led to some of the state-of-the-art connectivity and reach back in a more virtual context, where children see mom or dad. To witness that expression on a child's face when seeing their parent on a television screen, reading a favorite childhood story, is an event, ladies and gentlemen, that you just cannot put a price tag to. But what you can put to it is continuity of family, as well as a healthy catapult in maintaining individual and unit readiness of that service member. This is what United Through Reading does, and I think they do it remarkably well. What do you all think?
Yeah,
I agree too. And what it really brings me to the stage tonight is I have the distinct privilege in acknowledging yet another organization that is part of the reason United Through Reading performs its mission so well. Since 2006, Birdies for the Brave has selflessly reached out to honor and appreciate America's armed forces and her military families in so many ways. Phil and Amy Mickelson took a vision to reality where just 10 years since its inception, Birdies for the Brave now spans across 60 Tournament Players Club locations throughout the country. You know, even the title itself, Birdies for the Brave, has such a patriotic and champion-like ring to it. Obviously, the Mickelsons didn't use my golf game to shape their title, for if they did, we'd have to name it more along the lines of Bogies for Buffoonery. But all kidding aside, they and the larger Birdies for the Brave staff and volunteers have worked diligently to raising over more than $14 million, supporting nearly a dozen home front charities. Birdies for the Brave continues to make a long-standing, thank you very much. Birdies for the Brave continues to make a long-standing impact on our military, families, retirees, and veterans, and we're honored by their devotion and their generosity. Now, accepting this award is Amber Fulton. She's the Senior Manager, PGA Tour. So Amber, from a very patriotic audience, a grateful armed forces, and on behalf of United Through Reading, I am extremely proud to present this award to such an amazing organization. Ladies and gentlemen, Birdies for the Brave.
On behalf of the PGA Tour and Birdies for the Brave, thank you all so much for this incredible honor. We truly appreciate how supportive you've been to Birdies for the Brave, and having you present this award makes it that much more special. We are truly humbled to accept this award alongside all of you here tonight. The work you do to connect and unite military families during deployment is amazing and helps us illustrate the need to keep supporting those who put their lives on the line to benefit all of us, and the families who proudly stand behind you. As the wife of a golf instructor, a new mom, he's actually 7 months old today, and I have another one on the way. I know just a little bit about how difficult it can be when your spouse is on the road. However, add to that the uncertainty and the stress that comes with deployment, and the impact it has on a family can be devastating. At the PGA Tour, we are all about family. And along with our other military homefront charities, United Through Reading is truly part of our family. Since 2006, Birdies for the Brave has been proud to donate 45 mortgage-free homes to wounded warriors and their families, host more than 160 fundraising events to raise more than $15 million for United Through Reading and our other homefront groups, host 34, host 34 Operation Showers for military moms-to-be whose spouses are deployed, and provide hundreds of college scholarships to the children of fallen service members. Like raising a family, it takes a village, and we are privileged to have the support of our PGA Tour players, our corporate sponsors, our tournament fans, and senior military leadership like Sergeant Major Battaglia, and all of our homefront groups to help us show the appreciation to the courageous members of our U.S. Armed Forces and their families. Thank you again for this honor and for all that United Through Reading does to facilitate family bonding and promote literacy. Enjoy the rest of your evening.